Good morning and welcome to Beyond the Headlines on Baramatu Voice TV, reaching you live from the Niger Delta Media Center here in Ogunu, Warri, Delta State. And as you all know, Beyond the Headlines is where we bring you important stories making the headlines of today and happenings around you that you get informed on what is happening. And I do hope you stay glued to your screen today to get all the necessary information you need to know. And my name is Agogo Iniko, but I'm not alone today. Of course, I'm with my co-host looking all dazzling this morning.
Yes, thank you very much, Mrs. Agogo. My name is Bestolo. Good morning.
Good
You look amazing
morning.
yourself.
Thank you. I've been admiring you. All right. So we have a lot in stock for you today. We have so much to talk about. And just before we go ahead to give you insight on some of our news stories, I would like you to keep liking, sharing, and commenting on all our social media platforms like Baramatu Voice on Facebook, X, Instagram, and of course on TikTok. So please do well to be a part of this today by commenting. And we get to read your comments too. So we love it as much as you do. So please keep it going. Thank you so much. Yeah, so going today with some of our stories. Today we begin with the Binebi Madinobo Festival in Ogulaha, Delta State, where High Chief Government Ekpemupolo, a.k.a. Tompolo, is leading sacred rituals in this revered spiritual and cultural event. We also have reports on rising tensions as the Supreme Igbesu Assembly warns against political instability in Rivers State. The transmission company of Nigeria's concerns over vandalized power towers, and the House of Representatives' decision to retain VAT at 7.5%. We also have on our stories today that President Tinubu defends his economic reforms. The Presidential Amnesty Boss reaffirms his commitment to peace in the Niger Delta, and the Edo State government launches the NEL Fund scheme to support education. And in security, we have that the Nigeria Customs Service intercept over $1 million in undeclared clash, while a suspected cultist is arrested in Osun State for shooting incident. Meanwhile, a tragic incident in Edo State sees a 2-year-old girl killed following a clash between a driver and security agents. Well, we also take a look at Shell's official exit from Nigeria's onshore oil sector, PDB's leadership crisis, and Peter Obi's latest political visit to Bauchi. Stay tuned as we dive into these stories and more. And as a matter of fact, we will be emphasizing on the River State crisis, the saga going on right now. And we'll also be looking at Shell's exit from onshore operations. I know you're wondering what's that all about. You get to find out more if you stay glued to your screen. So, Best,
Yeah,
please can you recognize our online viewers, please?
Thank you very much, Mrs. Agogo, for that wonderful one. For giving us an headlines to what we're expecting today, to what our audience are expecting today. Okay, quickly. Karen, thank you for being with us. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful program. Yes, please make sure to stay tuned, stay glued to your screen till the end of this program. Oh, Miss Peace, thank you for being with us. Bonj Emmanuel, thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us on this wonderful program. If this is your first time on joining this program, this is Beyond the Headlines, where we take you beyond the news. We give you in-depth analysis, exciting insights, and perspective that matters. Okay, Andrew, thank you for being with us. Thank you for joining this wonderful program. Palakea, Branding, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying tuned. Sunday, our Sunday, say nice one. Thank you for joining. Please, if wherever you're joining us from, wherever you're watching us from, please make sure to state it down on the comment section below. We want to know where you're watching us from, your city, your town, what is happening over there. Put it down on the comment section. We want to know. And as this discussion is ongoing, your 1 or 2 cents on the issue we'll be talking about, you can put it down on the comment section and we'll do well to read them out loud. Okay, again, Emaro, thank you for being with us. Thank you for joining us. If this is your first time, this is Beyond the Headlines. We have a lot to uncover today with Shell leaving its onshore operation. What is left for the Niger Delta? What is the fate of the Niger Delta? What is the fate of the local communities? This is all the things we'll be discussing today. Williams, thank you for being with us. Thank you for joining us. Okay, Andrew is saying Warri Delta State. Okay, I believe he's watching from Warri Delta State. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying tuned with us. Okay, Honorio there, Bikawe, thank you for joining. Okay, our Sunday is saying watching from Lagos City. What is happening in Lasgidi? What is happening in Lagos? We want to be abreast of news everywhere. Our audience wants to know. They are curious. Whatever is happening in your society, your community, put it down on the comment section. Brandon is saying, watching from Naifor Island, Warri Corner. Oh, thank you. What is happening in your society? Please put it down. Make sure to go nowhere. Stay tuned till the end of this wonderful program because it promises to be everything. It promises to be educating. It promises to be informative. It promises to be entertaining. Okay. Voke Igbenidion, thank you for being with us. Thank you for watching. Okay, Uroju Ebitaba is saying, watching from Abuja. What is happening over there? What is happening in Abuja? Please put it down on the comment section below. Oh, Smart Osayande, thank you for being with us. Thank you for joining this wonderful program. Okay. Kasango, thank you for being with us. Ekolo T Dobra is saying, watching from Bayelsa State. Thank you for being with us. What is happening in Bayelsa State? What is happening in your locality, your community, your society? What is happening there? Put it down on the comment section below. Okay, quickly, let's move into the business of the day.
Yeah, so before that, we should also inform our audience that we'll have a special guest that will be coming to our show to do justice to the topics that we discussed here, talking about the rivers crisis and, of course, Shell's exit from onshore operations. And that's in no other person than Chief Sharif Molade. He is an environmental rights activist, a strong advocate for good governance, and the chairman of the Center for Peace and Environmental Justice. So he is the right person to tell us more about this Shell operations and offshore, because there are so many concerns right now. Like I said, what is the fate of the Niger Delta? Now, the things that the Shell operations, what they did, are they going to, who is going to take responsibility for those damages, the mess and everything? So he is the right person to tell us of that. And that's the reason why you need to stay glued to your screen.
Yes. Okay, moving forward. Stories, the lead stories that are topping the headlines today are Tompolo leads 3-day Binabai Madinobo Festival in Ogula. The Binabai Madinobo Festival, a revered spiritual and cultural in Ogula, Burutu local government area of Delta State, attracting dignitaries, traditional rulers, and key stakeholders from across Nigeria. The 3-day festival, which began on Thursday, March 13, will continue until Saturday, March 15, featuring traditional rites, prayers, and cultural displays. At the forefront of the event is High Chief Government Ekpempolo, aka Tompolo, the high priest of the Benabai Madinobu goddess, who is leading the sacred. As the festival progresses, attendees will witness traditional rites performed by Tompolo and other spiritual leaders, symbolizing a connection between the past and the present, ensuring that the values and traditions of the Ijaw people remain strong. Okay, Egbesu threatens shock over Wike's impeachment remark. Following remarks by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT), Mr. Nyesom Wike, that if Governor Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers State is impeached, heaven will not fall. The Supreme Egbesu Assembly, an ancestral traditional institution of the Ijaw people, has threatened to shock President Bola Tinubu if the governor is removed. Sea Chairman Wenrini Pre Digifa accused Wike of arrogance and recklessness against the Ijaw nation and criticized President Tinubu for allegedly lacking the capacity to control the FCT minister.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Best. Moving forward, transmission company of the Nigeria reports vandalism of power towers. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, announced on Thursday that vandals destroyed 4 of its towers along the Owerri-Ahwada 132 kV double-circuit line, leading to supply outage in parts of Rivers and Bayelsa State. A statement from TCN General Manager, Public Affairs, Ndidi Mba, confirmed that engineers were working to restore power. The incident has disrupted power supply to Ahoda, Barari, and Yenogwa transmission substations. House of Representatives retains VAT at 7.5%. The House of Representatives has rejected a proposed staggered increase of value-added tax, VAT, to 15% by 2030, as suggested in the tax forum bills under debate at the National Assembly. The VAT rate remains at 7.5%.
Okay, moving forward, Tinubu says that Nigeria would have gone bankrupt without economic reforms. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Thursday stated that Nigeria would have faced bankruptcy if his administration had not implemented its ongoing economic reforms. He emphasized that the reforms were necessary to protect future generations. Moving forward, Presidential Amnesty Boss Otuaro pledges sustainable peace in Niger Delta. High Chief Dennis Otuaro, administrator of the Presidential Amnesty Program, which is PAP, has reaffirmed his commitment to ensuring sustainable peace, security, and economic empowerment in the Niger Delta. He made this pledge during a courtesy visit from the Niger Delta Peace and Stability Forum led by Tantita Security Services Group General Manager Godfrey Pondi. Otuaro clarified that PAP has shifted its focus beyond monthly stipends to ex-agitators and is now prioritizing reintegration and rehabilitation initiatives.
Yes, going forward, Rivers Governor Fubara resubmits budget presentation request. Less than 8 hours after Rivers State Chief Judge was placed under investigation for alleged age falsification, Governor Siminalayi Fubara formally wrote to the State House of Assembly requesting a new date for the presentation of the 2025 budget. The governor's previous attempt to present the budget on March 12 was obstructed when he was locked out of the assembly complex. Peter Obi meets Bauchi Governor Bala Mohammed. The 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi met with Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed on Thursday at Ramat House in Bauchi. The purpose of their meeting was not disclosed.
Edo Governor Okpebolo launches NEL Fund scheme. Edo State's Governor Senator Monday Okpebolo officially launched the Nigeria Education Loan Fund (NEL Fund) in the state. Represented by Deputy Governor Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, the governor reaffirmed his commitment to making education accessible for all Edo State indigenes. Kaduna Court orders remand of over 197 million naira fraud case. A Kaduna State High Court has ordered the remand of a husband, wife, and 2 others for allegedly impersonating the Katsina State governor's wife and defrauding a bureau de change operator of 197 million naira, 197 million naira. The suspects were arraigned by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, which is the EFCC.
Thank you very much. Osun police arrest cultist for shooting grocery seller. A suspected cultist, Segun Ogunfunmilayo, has been arrested by Osun State Police Command for shooting a grocery seller in Ede on March 8. Ogunfunmilayo had allegedly brought an energy drink but failed to pay, leading to a dispute before he shot the vendor. That's a sad one there. Nigeria Customs intercept $1.154 million undeclared cash at Kanu Airport. The Nigeria's Customs Service seized $1.154 million and 135,900 Saudi riyals in undeclared foreign currency at Malam Aminu Kano International Airport. Customs National Public Relations Officer Abdullahi Maiwada disclosed the seizure in a statement on Thursday.
2-year-old killed in Edo following clash between driver and security agents. A commercial driver attempting to evade officers of the Edo State Public Safety Response Team, PSRO, ran over a 2-year-old girl at Ring Road, Benin, on Wednesday. Eyewitnesses said the PSR operatives attempted to seize the vehicle's steering wheel, leading the driver to lose control and crash into a POS kiosk where the child and her mother stood. The enraged crowd reportedly attacked the PSR agents before handing them over to the police. Former Kaduna Governor El Rufai raises alarm over ex-commissioner's kidnap. Former Kaduna State Governor Malam Nastia El Rufai has raised an alarm over the adoption of Jafaru Sani, a former commissioner in his government. El Rufai disclosed these in a post on his verified Facebook page on Thursday.
Former President Buhari reaffirms his commitment to APC. Former President Muhammadu Buhari has reiterated his loyalty to the All Progressive Congress, APC. His statement was released on Thursday by spokesperson Garba Shehu. Renaissance Africa Energy completes acquisition of Shell's Nigerian onshore assets. Renaissance Africa Energy Holdings had successfully completed the acquisition of Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria, SPDC. The consortium, comprising ending Western, Aradel Energy, First Exploration and Production, Walter Smith, and Petrolene, confirmed the deal in a statement on Thursday. The acquisition, valued at over $1.3 billion, marks Shell's exit from Nigeria's onshore oil sector. SPDC will now be renamed Renaissance Africa Energy Company Limited.
Okay, and lastly here, before we go on a short break, PDP National Chairman rejects South-South Zonal Congress outcome. Acting National Chairman of the People Democratic Party, PDP, Ambassador Umar Damagum has insisted that a recent zonal congress conducted by some party members in the South-South region cannot stand. Yes, and that is all we have for you for the lead stories that are topping the headlines, our headlines today.
Yes, thank you very much, Bess, for that. Now, we will be going on a short break, and when we'll come back, we will be talking about River State crisis and Shell exit from onshore operations. So don't go nowhere. Welcome back. It's still Beyond the Headlines on Gbaramatu Voice TV, reaching you live from the Niger Delta Media Center in Ogono, Warri, Delta State. And as we told you before we went on a short break, we'll have important guest that will be coming to our show this morning to do justice to two topics, and that is the rivers crisis and Shell's exit from the onshore. Now, talking about the rivers political crisis, tension continues to arise. Now, what does it mean for governance, stability, economy, and all the people involved in River State? We're also going to find out from our guests, and also talking about Shell's exit.
Yes.
A lot of, I think this is about two-way. While it will give room for local companies to get involved in oil exploration, it raises concern for, now, what about the damages, that has been caused in the past? So who's going to pay for that?
Who's going to be responsible
Who's going to be responsible? And it raises lots of concerns.
What does it mean now for, the Niger Delta region and local communities, and even, the nation at large?
Yes.
So that is what we want to find out on today's discussion. Okay, it is no news, obviously, that the Renaissance African Energy Holdings has successfully completed its transaction with Shell,
Nigeria.
Obviously. Yes, that transaction has been ongoing. It was, they did the sale and purchase last year, January. But it just, they finalized it this year. That was in 2024 and all of that. So now, the holdings actually constitutes of
For
four
companies, yes.
oil and gas company. Obviously, we know the ND Western,
And
the Aradel
yes.
Holdings PLC, First Exploration and Petroleum Development Company Limited.
Oh, I think
Water
also with
Smith
an
as well.
international company.
Yes,
Sorry,
obviously,
4
with an-
local companies
yes,
with an
with an
international, yes,
company.
yes,
So it
yes.
is not even a small one.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know we cannot even overemphasize the contributions Shell has actually made to the Niger Delta region.
Definitely.
Yes, it has given employment to individuals, to contractors
Empowerment, a
as
lot
well.
of, yes.
In fact, it has contributed 96% of, you know, he has given millions
Yes.
of dollars,
including
to health
yes.
sectors,
yeah,
you
including
know,
educational sector, scholarships here and there. So we
infrastructure,
cannot take away those
facilities
facts.
and all of that.
Yes.
So in fact, we cannot take all of that, and this is what we want to be discussing. We want to be looking into, want to be giving in-depth analysis, and our guest, you know, will be doing justice to that. Now, it is still the offshore operations. It is still ongoing.
Yes,
obviously. It is
obviously.
just the onshore operation. Now, it is no longer for that onshore part. It is no longer share. It is now
Renaissance, yes.
Holdings and all of that. So we'll be putting our guest through. We'll be calling our guest through this morning that will be doing justice to the issues that we have on ground
Yeah,
today.
so once again, we're having a special guest, and no other person than Chief Sheriff Mulade. He is an environmental rights activist, a strong advocate for good governance, and the chairman of the Center for Peace and Environmental Justice. Now, talking about the Center for Peace and Environmental Justice, they have also written that Shell should be able to clear up the mess before
they
leaving.
leave.
Yes,
So I think
and but there is no response from that
Okay.
brother. Okay, I think he's on the call. Is he on the call now?
yeah.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, morning.
Okay. We are. I'm pretty sure we are on to Chief Sheriff Molade.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Quickly, we have issues we will be discussing. Okay, obviously for our audience, he is the chairman of the Center for Peace and Environmental Justice, president of Chief Sheriff Molade. So quickly, sir, we'll be talking on issues, you know, the river crisis that is ongoing, Wike, Yesom Wike, and Governor Fubara, the crisis that has been ongoing in River State, and you know, Shell finalizing his departure is onshore operations.
Yes,
So that is like the things we'll be discussing this morning. So quickly, Mrs. Agogo.
Okay, so sir, well, we want to know concerning the present crisis in River State, and now the FCT minister has written that what's it called now? There's been a written agreement that
Okay.
they should remove the federal allocations to
Well,
River
that's
State.
right.
So would like to know more about that on the economic implication to that, sir.
Well, first and foremost, that River State family political crisis is uncalled for, is unnecessary, is distraction of development. Development is the interest of all rivers and Niger Delta at large. The development of River State is a priority, is the ultimate. So, this political crisis, I will continue to say, is uncalled for. Of course, these have been said for over a year. For over a year. And we are taught and we expect and we believe, since it's a family political conflict and crisis, it could have been better managed by the actors, especially Wike, who parodied himself as a godfather who imposed Fubara on the people of River State. To our greatest surprise, these issues have been taking different dimensions. are taking different dimensions, trying to play economic, ethnic coloration to it by whetting all sorts of sentiments. Wike went further recently in his media part by insulting the entire Ijaw nation. We respect him as the former governor of Rivers State. We respect him as the minister of the SCT today. We are proud of him for what he's doing in Rivers State and what he's doing currently in Abuja.
In Abuja.
But that does not give him that impetus. That does not give him that right. That does not give him that authority to insult an ethnic group. Ijaw nation is too big for Wike to insult as an ethnic group. The smallest ethnic group, the minute ethnic group, he cannot even insult them. Talk less of the fourth largest ethnic group in Nigeria. If not that Ijaw is balkanized into different states in the Niger Delta, and it's not that Ijaw is marginalized to a level where we seem to be minority even in Akwa Ibom, in Ondo State, in Edo State, in Delta. Our population, our size, our capacity and competence is not weak. So first, I don't want us to web sentiment to it. He has his right, he has his views to express his concern, but not to the level of that anger, that emotion that was used in charging his hatred for Fubra to the Ijaw people. It is not possible, and it is unacceptable, and it's uncalled for. Now, for the River State crisis, I believe there are ways to address and manage it. Now, for example, take the recent State House of Assembly crisis in Lagos State, where we have two speakers, one supported by the governor and another supported by other political bigwigs. Finally, just 2 days ago, the president, who is the father of all in Nigeria, who hails from Lagos State and Onshore State, could able to extend an invitation to the governor and the warring factions of the House of Assembly and brought them to Abuja and address the issues and seal and settle it. Why is it that the president could not extend that same gesture to the people of Rivers State by inviting the governor, the FCC ministers, and the House of Assembly member and tell them, for the interest of peace, for the interest of the people of Rivers State, all these issues have provided this political resolution to them. So it's binding on all. Go. So that this issue of we are the legislators, we have the right to impeach the governor, we will impeach him, we will be creating all these unnecessary tension. It is uncalled for. So for me, the president should play a fanary role. He just give us a lead way by telling Nigeria that the issue of Lagos State House of Assembly has been settled. Therefore, the president still has that capacity to exercise that same power in the River State issue, except there is political undertone, with the intention and impression that the River State is a state that the ruling party at the federal level may need to enhance its 2025 election. Except the leading party will see that River State is one of the funding base for any election. Except the River State is seen to be one of the states to be made ungovernable so that they can maybe declare state of emergency and take it over. If not, If truly the leadership of this nation, from the presidency to those regional leaders, irrespective of political affiliation, if River State is in crisis, the entire Niger Delta is in crisis. Akwa Ibom is not safe, and we have the number 3 man of the Federal Federation. He's from Akwa Ibom. He's just a stone thrown. The split over will affect Akwa Ibom. The split over will affect Bayelsa. The split over will affect Delta, and so on. So my take is that the president, because the issue is beyond regional settlement to some extent, because everybody has been perceived to be involved in one way or the other. And with the recent outburst of the FCT minister insulting the fourth largest ethnic group, he cannot do it to Igbo. He can't do it to Yoruba. He can't do it to Hausa. He will not stay in Abuja. He will never stay in Abuja. But the judges are people that have been seen to be peace-loving. That's why the fact at some point that because of the marginalization of the Niger Delta, they just took it upon themselves and fought for the freedom of Niger Delta. It will interest you to note that in 1966, the Niger declared the first Niger Delta Republic, the first ever republic in Nigeria, led by Isaac Aburu, Major, which gave birth to the 12 Days Revolution. At the end of that, the Biafra Republic were declared 1967, and it was still the Jaws who were fronting the crisis and ended it. And Nigeria has been one from then to date. This River State, the Jaws paid the price for the creation of River State in 1967. 1967, no single equally person called leader were involved in the creation of River State. From that 67 to date, the judge has produced 4 governors. 4. Current Amayana of Twambra, His Royal Majesty, King Zepesti, was a civilian governor, followed by late Senator Maford Okilo, then Ada George. Ada George handed over to Peter Odili. Then Peter Odili is not from Ikuri, he's from Indoni, in Ogba Igbema, local government area of River State. Then to Amechi, then to Wiki. So it's only Amechi and Wiki who are now governors from Ikuri.
Okay.
Now Fubara. So who gave Wiki that boss to say you are a minority of minority? I know, sometimes it is so unfortunate that in Nigeria, those who said say no to drugs, they are the ones in drugs because they are addicted to drugs, and that is why they can misbehave. If not, I don't think any sensitive and responsible and reasonable minister like Wike, who have governed River State, and they know the strength of the Jaws in River State. The Jaws occupied over 10 local governments. 10. The Port Harcourt you refer to is owned by the Okrika. The Port Harcourt city is owned by the Okrika. The Port Harcourt himself is owned by the Okrika. The only thing that gives Equatorial the opportunity is the expansion of Port Harcourt city. Is the expansion of Port Harcourt city. So the expansion of Port Harcourt city fall into Biapo, to Emoa, to Eneme. That is just it. The expansion of Port Harcourt city. Does he know the history of Port Harcourt? Does he know the name Port Harcourt? Is that an Equatorial?
Okay, sir. Okay, so I would like to ask now, with the current show of power and of course the public exchange of showing authority, what do you think that the FCT minister in the person of Nyesom Wike should have done differently in all of this River State crisis?
afford to waste much time.
We sincerely apologize for the break in transmission. Before the break in transmission, we were on to Chief Mulade Sherif, who is the chairman of the Center for Peace and Environmental Justice. So we will quickly get to him now to tell us more about the rivers crisis.
Okay, why is on call while we are putting through to him? Would obviously recognize. Okay. Sorry, the network is a bit disturbing. Okay, why on that? We'll quickly recognize our guests on our audience on the show. Likewise. Mike Frederick, thank you for being with us. Thank you for joining. Murphy, okay, our guest is.
All right. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
we sincerely apologize for the break in transmission due to network, but we're back now. So before the network issue started, I was asking, what do you think Wike should have done differently rather than what he is doing currently, sir?
Well, to me, he has the opportunity to resolve this issue within his capacity as the presumed godfather of all this group. But I think maybe Fubra too has a shortcoming. We cannot blame Wike in 100%.
Okay.
To be honest, in the world, when you are being uplifted by somebody,
Someone.
you appreciate the person. When you are uplifted by someone, you give, accord in that
Respect.
requirement, that
Loyalty.
respect.
Okay.
Maybe Fubra may have come short in those areas. That may also be from the rumors, is because of Wike's stiff position in some certain demands. And the man said, yes, you have given me this platform, but for the interests of rivers, can we do it this way? Can we adopt this? I think there were being some discussion before the fallout. In spite of all this, I felt Wike as a leader, as a father, as a former local government chairman, as a former chief of staff to the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, as a former minister of education, if I'm not mistaken, and as a former governor to now a sitting minister, he has traveled across governors in various aspects. And with all this, I believe he has a vast knowledge in governance and with some level of good experience. Cannot say some level, some good experience. And since he have imposed himself or assumed himself to be a godfather, a supposed godfather for River State, where there are issues, there are still ways he could have managed it. Even if Fubara did not give him 100% respect or according what he thinks, he could have patiently wait and do some underground work and maybe work against him in his re-election bid. Rather than creating this unnecessary tension, creating this uncalled for embarrassment to the good people of Rivers State and the Niger Delta, and moving forward to be insulting individuals and ethnic groups. I think these are not things that are uncalled for. But there is still opportunity and there is still room. If Wike decide to retrace his steps and try to define a better ways.
Rather than
he may have some good friends who he listens to, in spite of his public outbursts and his dramatic appearances in many cases. Those who he listens to, I will appeal that they should caution him and talk to him and advise him.
Okay.
So that there can be a pathway to these issues. I'm more bothered about the people of Rivers State, the residents, the inhabitants. Rivers State is the hub of the Niger Delta economy. If we recall, in the 70s to 80s to early 90s, Warri, Port Harcourt, these are the two economic names in the Niger Delta. Port Harcourt is a state capital. Warri is just a city, but it's like a state capital. So these are two vibrant cities. But from 1999, from 1997 crisis to 1999, these two cities begin to lose its glory. See, today, we have not recovered. Warri have not recovered. Port Harcourt have not recovered. All the companies initially left Warri for Port Harcourt. And from Port Harcourt, they moved to Lagos. And we have been, our leaders, we need to understand that there is the hand of insult that is triggering a lot of crisis in the Niger Delta, so that most of the development in Niger Delta moves to a particular region.
Okay.
Including those of us who are leaders from this area. We are all residing in Lagos or in Abuja. When you make some little money, you move to Abuja. You make some money, you move to Lagos. There is the hand of Esau in our underdevelopment. So we should be careful. So for me, Wike should please retrace his steps and allow peace to reign.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Fobra too should use his position as a governor to re-cement fence. Yes, we cannot say because we are Ijaw people will just give him all the necessary backup or the backing to say because Wike have insulted us or Wike has insulted the Ijaw nation. No, Ijaw is too big for Wike, so we will not join issues with Wike.
Okay, thank you for the broad insights on the Rivers crisis. Due to time, we wouldn't want to deliberate so much on this because there is something else we need to talk about, which is more pressing, and that's talking about the Shell exit from the onshore oil operations. Rather.
Okay, quickly, sir, following the Renaissance African Energy Holdings acquiring the entire entity of Shell Petroleum Development Company. Now, Shell has exited from, the onshore oil operation. Now, quickly, what I actually want to ask, now Shell leaving the onshore operations, what does this mean for oil production in Niger Delta, and local communities as well?
Well, first and foremost, Shell proposed exit, which today has been confirmed and sealed that Shell is exiting onshore. It comes as a surprise, but not shocking to many of us, because we already have a failed system of governance and government. Shell cannot destroy our ecosystem. When I mean our ecosystem, I'm talking about our environment, I'm talking about our air, I'm talking about our livelihood, and openly tell us that they are exiting the onshore and moving to the offshore. Why? First, is as a result of corruption on the part of government. Corruption. Secondly, is as a result of government failure to adhere strictly to the environmental best practices. Thirdly, it is as a result of failure of community leadership. Now, let's go through these three items. I don't want to bother you with these issues. Why did I say first as a result of corruption? There is a systematic corruption in the oil and gas sector managed by NNPCL, today called former NNPC. These corruption are eating deep to the fabrics of the Nigeria oil and gas sector. That is the survival of Nigeria economy. That in the swamp, Shell felt we spend more in settling communities, in settling the state government, in settling the federal government. Therefore, in order to avoid this, and in the swamp, the Nigerian NUPROC, former DPRO, has about 40% monitoring capacity of Shell production, either Shell, Chevron, Mobil. I don't know whether you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
On the swamp, the former DPRO, now NUPROC, have 40%, about 40% capacity to monitor their production, because you monitor their production from Focado's terminal, from Brass, from Bonny. So production from the swamp can be monitored by the federal government under DPRO, current NUPROC. But offshore cannot be monitored fully. So Shell introduced the offshore. So at that offshore, it is like a free flow for Shell and any other company, including Chevron, that is gradually moving to the offshore. Because at that point, even the federal government rely on Shell reports in the offshore. The federal government rely on Shell or any multinational company report on daily basis. So they see that the only way to re-enslave and exploit
is to move
Nigerians.
Okay, sir, please let me quickly ask you, sir, talking about that, don't you think it's about, because you just mentioned there are reasons you feel they are leaving the onshore to offshore. Now, do you think, don't you think this has something to do with host community instability or insecurities?
No. That is very far from it. I disagree with either Shell or anybody who have that perception. These host communities, when Shell and the multinationals came into this country in the early 60s, when production commenced fully, I don't want to refer to the Louisville homes. These communities has been very hospitable, very accommodating, provide all the necessary support for these companies and the federal government to exploit. In the 80s, from late 80s, we begin to experience all sorts of earth hazards as a result of the continuous exploration and exploitation activities that have affected our environment, leading to the destruction of our aquatic life, our ecosystem, that have destroyed our traditional occupation of fishing and farming, thereby eroding our livelihood. So we keep mute and we keep waiting, hoping and believing that there will be a remediation. of the environment.
Oh, sir, I'm talking about.
Adding to this, there have been continuous gas flaring that have contaminated the entire air that we breathe. Our lifespan in this area have reduced drastically. You hardly see people of 100, people of 90 something. Everybody is relocating from the host community to the city. So in the late 90s, when we begin to agitate for the development of our area, they see it as unrest. Why? How? When? It is uncalled for. When you fail to do the needful, you will see the unnecessary. That is what happened.
Now, even talking about, environmental damages, the past environmental damages that has been done by Shell, now that Shell has left, operations offshore, who would be responsible for those damages?
The Shell cannot. See what has happened. Shell did not exit the onshore. What they have done successfully is a small screen that we have exited and liquidate their share to former Shell indigenous staff who now registered company, all in the name of an indigenous firm, and bought it over. Go back to all those so-called company that is buying these places. They are Nigerians and they are all former Shell directors. So it's just a strategy to confuse and confuse the people of the Niger Delta and Nigeria. The government and those who are perpetrating this act know what they are doing. The only problem I have is that the Niger Delta and the host communities are not coordinated and organized. If we are coordinated and organized, if Shell said they want to exit, of course, if you came to do business and if you want to leave, you can go.
You can.
But you will transfer all. So those who think that they are also buying from Shell, they should buy all the responsibilities.
Okay, so you feel the Renaissance
company now
will continue from there?
What?
Yeah, the Renaissance Holdings, Africa Energy Holdings will continue from there.
From there.
No, before the holdings will take over, the holdings should carry out a thorough remediation, reviving the environment. Because this is what we have issue with Shell, to remediate our environment before Shell will embark on any other operation. And Shell could not, so now they are diversifying and running away. So if you are taking over, you must take responsibility of it.
Okay, so as the chairman of the Center for Peace and Environmental Justice, have there been written information on this to address these issues?
Of course, we have taken steps with the National Assemblies to do the needful, and we have also proceeded to restrain any acts from the holding firm. So if they do not, we will restrain them. We have in fact, we have taken them. We have a processes that is already in a process. So I don't want to disclose the next actions.
Okay,
so
thank you very much.
That.
But sorry, talking about now, we've been looking at, let's say, the challenges and the disadvantages. But on the other hand, don't you think this will also encourage local communities to be involved in oil exploration?
It will encourage us. Now, when you look at the oil blocks in Nigeria, 99% of these owners of the oil blocks are non-Niger Deltans. Currently, the highest you see is by fronting some Niger Deltans as owners. But as God may have his way, one or two persons have the capacity to own marginal feed, not oil block, marginal feed, just a little marginal feed. And gradually, we know we will take over those blocks by Niger Delta. And when those blocks belong to us, I think our people will not be so foolish, so careless, that they will not consider environmental as a priority. Because our environment is our right, our environment is our priority, our environment is our heritage. This is the only environment that we live in, and we will hand over to the next generation. So we must continue to preserve and protect it. So if Niger Deltans today become the managers of the oil industry, I bet you Niger Delta environment will be one of the best places to live. Go to Amsterdam. Amsterdam's indigenous of Amsterdam manage their resources, and you see that they turn their environment to a paradise. And that is why people go to Amsterdam to relax, go to Dubai. And when your environment have taken shape, a lot of investors will come in. So my appeal, I will encourage Niger Deltans who are well to do to acquire more of the marginal fees, more of the oil blocks, so that we will take control of our environment. We cannot allow our environment to be bastardized. Shell have come in, bastardized our environment, telling us to our face that they are exiting the area without carrying out thorough clean-up exercise, without remediating the environment. Have you seen our mangrove forests? Have you seen our waterways? Have you seen the... It's not that former President Buhari have a rethink through the security report and awarded the surveillance contract to Transita, managed by High Chief Government. And President Tinubu able to sustain that contract. Our waterways, our riverine area has been destroyed to the extreme. But today you can even swim now. You can move in the riverway. You can even swim. Because of Transita, our environment has been gradually restored. So we don't want anybody that will come and destroy the environment again. And that is why we continue to plead. It's not because we are all from the same area or because he's an injured man that we say help us to sustain the contract. No, it is the benefit from the contract. That is why we are supporting the contract. We are not talking about the resources involved. We are talking of the benefit of the contract to the people of the Niger Delta. And that is why we are saying that the contract should be sustained to create that enabling environment for operation and to help to sustain the environment for us.
Now, talking about local communities. Now, what is the fate of local communities that depends on Shell for, jobs, employment, and social investment?
And all of that,
what is their fate?
For the local contractors?
Local communities that depends on Shell for jobs, employment, social investment, and all of that. Now that Shell is no longer, what is their fate?
Well, their fate is still large because while Shell were there are few persons who were dealing with Shell as contractors and vendors and social investment and all. So this new indigenous firm that are also coming is still on another way. Okay. So people will continue to survive irrespective of Shell exit. We will survive. Niger Delta have all it takes to survive irrespective of any firm that is leaving. So for me, Shell exit will pave way for better development in the Niger Delta. Shell or any other multinational company who felt that they want to exit the Niger Delta, but they are not exiting genuinely. That is my concern. They are not exiting genuinely. Their exit is fraudulent, is manipulation. It has a manipulating tendency. That is my major worry. And it is the same those in authority who are coming under the disguise of an indigenous company to come and operate using the same federal government might to suppress and intimidate and oppress the locals. For example, what is NOSRA doing in Abuja, the National ESP Detection and Response Agency, NOSRA? Do you have a flow line or a pipeline or a wellhead in Abuja? What is the DG doing in Abuja, sitting in Abuja? That is an agency that is shadowed with the responsibility to monitor, coordinate, and advise issues of spill. Now the DG is sitting in Abuja. And many of these local communities have that resources to travel from those places to Warri or Port Harcourt, talk less of going to Abuja. So there are some agencies that were established to manage some situation, but we are wrongly placed. That is why we are having a lot of issues. There will be a spill in a particular scene, you won't see any of them. Even if you come to visit or invite them, you will have to make provision for NOSRA to follow you. And when there is a spill, Shell or Chevron or Mobil will be the one to fly the DG or the director who represents him from Abuja to Port Harcourt to Warri, accommodating in the most exotic hotel or expensive hotel. From there, they will fly him to the location and come. So what do you expect? What will be the outcome? So at the end of the day, that is why you see all the reports from NOSRA were recorded against community, third party. What did they do is to ensure that they don't pay compensation to communities. And when communities continue to insist that you must pay adequate compensation, they will tag those community militant. They will tag those area troublesome places, and they will deploy military to it. That is the third party interference. These are flow pipelines that were laid since the 70s. The lifespan of a pipeline, the lifespan of a pipe is 25 years, the lifespan of a pipe. So therefore, at the 20 years is expected that pipe to be replaced. Now calculate from 1960 something to date, whose flow line or whose pipeline are they replaced in the Niger Delta? Look at the TFA, the Trans-Forcados pipeline that is carrying the crude from the entire swamp to Forcados terminal. That line were laid since 1972, 71. Till date, it has not been replaced. And if there is a rupture, erosion every time, and the several other connecting lines. So the federal government has failed Nigerians and has failed Niger Delta. Those in terms of affair, they are from the north, they are from the east, they are from the west. Their environment is not polluted, their environment is not destroyed. So they are not bothered, they are not care. But until Nigerian leaders see that every part of Nigeria is Nigeria, some people see that the Niger Delta is not part of Nigeria. They are only interested in the proceeds from the Niger Delta. They are not bothered about the welfare of the people. Until Nigerian leadership from the presidency see that the part Owerri in Ondo State is part of Nigeria. The man who is from Kanu will feel that the Owerri that you are talking about is Nigeria and is part of me. The man from Bayelsa will see those in Bauchi, that those in Bauchi, what Bauchi people affect me, Bayelsa man. What affect Sokoto man affect Calabar man. That is when we now know that we are in Nigeria. We are in one nation. Now we are not. We are very far apart.
Okay. At some point, going on, don't you think this will affect foreign investment in Nigeria's energy sector?
Definitely, it will affect the investors in Nigeria because our business environment is harsh, is not stable. Our environment or our nation or our energy industry is being threatened as a result of insincerity, as a result of insecurity, as a result of corruption. So there are a lot of vices and factors that affect Nigerian business environment. So if the federal government is committed to provide the necessary support, then Nigeria is one of the best places to invest. Beyond all year, this is a nation that is blessed in all ramifications. It will interest us to note that Kogi State alone, the natural endowment in Kogi State alone can feed the entire central zone of Nigeria, the entire north central, Kogi State alone can feed it. You have about 7 states. The only Kogi can feed it. Go to Niger State, the largest state with the largest land space, which is about 13% of the Nigerian land mass. If that state is exploited well, it will feed the entire north. So Nigeria, every state that has been created by our leaders are potential states, every state. But today, the Nigerian nation abandon these potentials, abandon these opportunities, and concentrate on the oil and gas sector because they fear that there is a serious corruption in it. So let's exploit it. 1. 2, this part of the country don't allow them to grow. When any of them grow to some extent, we find every means to suppress him or exit him so that we don't have any confrontation or challenge from that end. Today, in this same country, in some part of this country, exploration of mines and gold is taking place in some area. With flights coming in, chopper coming in to pick golds and mines without security interference. Without security interference. And they are going freely. And it's no longer a news. But in the Niger Delta, when there is any little, the military barrack will be moved to the Niger Delta because the country is not united in confronting our challenges. If we are united as a nation, if our leaders are united as leaders and confront the challenges, the over 40% to 30% of Nigerians that reside all over the world will be in Nigeria to better Nigeria. If you have the privilege of traveling out of this country, that is why you will see that the most poorest country in this world, Nigeria, is there, struggling to survive. Because this is a country that is blessed with human resources, human endowment, human capacity. Nigeria is struggling all over the world. And Nigeria has produced some of the best doctors in US and Europe today. Nigeria has produced some of the best engineers, the best technologists. But we are struggling and suffering here because of bad leadership. There is no assurance, no social welfare for any Nigerians. We don't value our people. We don't value. You cannot make any attempt. You can't claim the life of any Americans that America will not come back for their own soul, life or death. But if this is the only country, anything can happen to any Nigeria. Nobody cares for you. So until our leaders change orientation and try to see how we can build it. And when we talk about Nigeria, this needs to start from even our locals, where even our local communities must respect their leaders, and their leaders must in turn reciprocate by giving direction to the leadership of the community. That will move to the kingdom or a clan, to a state, and to the federal. Charity, they said, begins at home. So we must begin to display the quality and the capacity of leadership from our communities, from our homes. We cannot continue to blame those in authority every day, whereas we are not perpetrating or not showing that leadership quality. And that is why those who have grown rose to that level, because they also move through a wrong path to the top. So they continue to perpetrate that way. And in Nigeria, the amount of violence you perpetrate will determine your level of recognition at all levels.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time. In fact, you have indeed, it is indeed a wonderful section with you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chief
Thank you.
Sheriff Molade. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right. We've been talking to Chief Sheriff Molade, who is the environmental rights activist and a strong advocate for good governance and the chairman of the Center for Peace and Environmental Justice. I hope you enjoyed the program, and I hope you got insights from what he has been saying and what he said. And I'm sure you've been able to pick one or two information, because he said a whole lot, talking about should we say
Yes.
corruption
And all of that.
Well, it's we do hope
And there
whatever I
is still
said.
hope for local
Yes,
communities.
local communities. So should we say it's a win-win situation?
Yeah,
or-
well, we can actually say that as well.
Okay, all
For the
right.
fact that Shell is leaving doesn't mean all other investments would not, come into the Niger Delta
Yes,
as well.
so thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that. So before we round up with our last news today, please could you recognize if we have new guests?
Okay.
Viewers.
Well, during the conversation, I was having some comments.
Okay.
Okay, I have one. Talking about the Wike issue. Good Friday. Good Friday is saying Wike is too greedy. You uplift someone doesn't mean the person has to become a goat. You drag everywhere. Things are not done that way. Wike is too power driven. Oh, that was a comment from Timmy Perez opinion on the issue that was discussed today. Okay, I have one. Anger Dema saying, please tell us the importance of Shell in Niger Delta, if not pain and destruction of our resources. Okay, that is one of the comments as well, one of the opinion of our viewers, Anger Dema. Okay, have Maxine Orugbo watching from Lagos. He said, I like listening to Chief Molade. He understand the problem of Niger Delta and the undertone of government activities in the Niger Delta. So those are like the comments we have. Quickly, let's move forward.
Okay, thank you very much, Best. And I will go straight to the last news for today. Rivers State political crisis, a call for leadership, stability, and democratic responsibility. The ongoing political crisis in Rivers State has reached a critical point, with growing concerns about governance, democracy, and the future of leadership in the Niger Delta. The power struggle between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his predecessor, now Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, has escalated beyond the internal party disagreement, threatening the stability of the state and its people. This crisis, which started as a dispute over control of political structures, has now moved into a dangerous contest of power between executive and legislative arms of government, with the judiciary also caught in the crossfire. The impeachment threats, parallel state assemblies, and growing tensions within the political class have raised fears that Rivers State could descend into chaos if urgent steps are not taken to restore order. Rivers State is a major economic hub not only in the Niger Delta, but in Nigeria as a whole. As one of the highest contributors to the nation's economy through oil revenue, political instability in Rivers State could have serious economic consequences, affecting investment, businesses, and the overall well-being of its people. History has shown that when governance is sacrificed for personal interest and political dominance, it is the ordinary people who suffer. The current situation is already creating uncertainty, discouraging investors and distracting from the real issue of development, infrastructure, and security that should be the focus of the government. The political battle in Rivers State has taken center stage at the national level, with Minister Nyesom Wike openly asserting his influence over the state's political affairs. His recent remark that heaven will not fall if Governor Fubara is impeached has been widely criticized as an arrogant dismissal of the potential consequences of political instability in the region. The Supreme Egbesu Assembly, C, and other concerned voices in the Niger Delta have strongly condemned any attempt to forcefully remove Governor Fubara, warning of serious consequences if Rivers State is destabilized. The Niger Delta, a region that has suffered years of marginalization and underdevelopment, cannot afford another round of political turmoil that would set back the progress made in recent years. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as the leader of the nation, must take a firm stance to ensure that democracy is upheld in Rivers State. The president must rise above political affiliations and act as a neutral arbiter in resolving the crisis. If political actors continue to allow personal ambitions to override democratic principles, it could set a dangerous precedent for governance in other states. A call for peace, dialogue, and democratic governance. As a media platform deeply rooted in the Niger Delta, Baramatu Voice urges all stakeholders, Governor Fubara, Minister Wike, the Rivers State House of Assembly, and the presidency to embrace peace and dialogue. Political power is meant for service, not personal control. The people of Rivers State deserve leadership that prioritizes their welfare, security, and economic development rather than endless political battles. Political actors must remember that history will judge their actions. Those who allow their personal ambition to destabilize Rivers State will be remembered as enemies of democracy and progress. Now is a time for leaders to demonstrate through statesmanship by putting the interest of Rivers State people above self-interest. Baramatu Voice will continue to monitor and report on the situation, ensuring that the voices of the people are heard and that democracy is upheld. The Niger Delta cannot afford to be a battleground for political conflicts. Our focus should be on development, peace, and unity. Baramatu Voice speaking truth to power. And that will be all on Beyond the Headlines today. And Baramatu Voice TV reaching you live from the Niger Delta Media Center in Ogunwari, Delta State.
Yes. Okay, but before we move on, I think I have a comment from YouTube that I want to read out.
Okay.
Okay, this is coming from Dotimi Konakiri. Please, I want to inform you guys that President Tinubu is the one pulling the strings in Rivers State crisis. That is his own opinion on the issue. He also went further by saying Wike is